أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون إنما يؤخرهم ليوم تشخص فيه الأبصار مهطعين مقنعي رؤوسهم لا يرتد إليهم طرفهم وأفئدتهم هواء وأنذر الناس يوم يأتيهم العذاب فيقول الذين ظلموا ربنا أخرنا إلى أجل قريب نجب دعوتك ونتبع الرسل أولم تكونوا أقسمتم من قبل ما لكم من زوال وسكنتم في مساكن الذين ظلموا أنفسهم وتبين لكم كيف فعلنا بهم وضربنا لكم الأمثال وقد مكروا مكرهم وعند الله مكرهم وإن كان مكرهم لتزول منه الجبال فلا تحسبن الله مخلف وعده رسله إن الله عزيز ذو انتقام يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار وترى المجرمين يومئذ مقرنين في الأصفاد سرابيلهم من قطران وتغشى وجوههم النار ليجزي الله كل نفس ما كسبت إن الله سريع الحساب هذا بلاغ للناس ولينذروا به وليعلموا أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب.
الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. I'm going to stay here until maybe Isha or even more. If you don't want to stay, you can go. I can deal with my own camera. So my own camera will be my attendant, because the subject is so beautiful, and you're going to see, inshallah, the subject is so beautiful. The subject is about the prophecies of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People usually say, like Christians, we have 25,000 prophecies in the Bible, in the Old Testament, about Jesus, but none of them are fitting Jesus at all. None of them, not even one, among the 25,000. So they say, do you have something like that in your religion? Now today we're going to show some, and believe me, some, which may take an hour or 2 hours, but it's some of what the Prophet ﷺ prophesied. And I don't want anyone to look at the clock, please. Some people from now are looking at the clock. Okay. So things that had been really fulfilled. First, the Prophet ﷺ was asked about the hour. And he said, no one knows when the hour occurs. Then Jibreel asked him, give me the signs of it. So among the signs that the Prophet gave, أن تلد المرأة ربتها وأن ترى الحفاة العراة العالة رعاء الشاء يتطاولون في البنيان. You'll be seeing the youngster is treating her master as if she or he is the slave. That means rebellion will be something almost normal, something usual to be rebellious against father and mother. And you will see those almost naked, barefooted, depending people, shepherds. A time will come, they'll be competing whose building will be higher. Whose building will be higher. Doesn't this happen nowadays? Yes. Many things. Yeah. And things that people did not imagine to know about before, such as وَالْبَحْرِ الْمَسْجُورِ, the sea that is fired. And there is under the sea fire. How did the Prophet ﷺ see that? He doesn't speak by his own. The Quran that was revealed on him talked about what? About the sea that is containing under it a great, massive, horrible fire. Once the Prophet ﷺ at the night journey, he was taken by one night to Jerusalem and he was brought back. And you know the story. Abu Jahl said to the Prophet ﷺ, what? Yesterday and now you're here. Yesterday you were in Jerusalem and today you're in Mecca. He said, yes. He called all people in Mecca. Come and listen to Muhammad. See, I told you this problem here. So they said, what? In one night? Some of those who converted to Islam, they said, that's enough. Enough is enough. I'm giving my Islam up. I can't. Then the Prophet ﷺ was critically, he was very critically paranoid and panicked. Then they said to him, all right. One of them said, I know Jerusalem very well. I've been there. Can you describe it to me? Then a display was seen to the Prophet ﷺ. He saw everything and he was describing to them, where is that road, where is this road, etc., etc. The man said, as for the description, it's identical. But as to believe it, it's difficult. Identical, but difficult. Subhanallah. And despite they used to be calling him in Mecca, As-Sadiqul Amin, the trustworthy, the truthful. Then they have no way of excuse at the day of judgment. Someone came up from among themselves whom they know his truthfulness and trustworthiness, yet they don't want to believe. Also, when the Prophet ﷺ was in Mecca and the Muslims were persecuted, they were weakened, there was some news that the Persians defeated the Romans. And there were two empires at that time. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed an ayah which you know it. غُلِبَتِ الرُّومِ, the Romans were defeated. فِي أَدْنَى الْأَرْضِ, in the lowest land. And that also is a great miracle in itself. And science today tells you that the lowest level of the land is in Tabaraya, the lake of Tabaraya, where the battle between the Persians and the Romans had taken place. في أدنى الأرض وهم من بعد غلبهم سيغلبون. And they, the Persians, after their victory, they will be defeated. Quraysh didn't like it. They said, oh, come on. Persians are the strongest people in the world nowadays. How come they'll be defeated? Then Abu Bakr said to them, do you want to bet? They say, yes. Wait, I said, wait a minute. I want to ask the Prophet ﷺ if betting is allowed or not. Then he went and he asked the Prophet ﷺ, told him that I was betting with them. The Prophet said to him, that was before betting became haram. He said, go and increase your betting. And in a couple of years, the Romans defeated the Persians. When the Prophet ﷺ sent a message to the emperor, Kisra, that be Muslim, submit to Allah. When the message was rehearsed to him, recited to him, he became angry. But those people, they don't show you when they get angry. They have very calm souls, behavior, very calm. But the fire is inside. So he said, give me the message. And he tore it. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, مَزَّقَ اللَّهُ مُلْكَهُ. May Allah tear his kingship. And his kingship was torn. His kingship was torn. The caliphate of Umar radiallahu anhu finished. He was finished. And the empire had finished. And the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if the empire of Persia will be annihilated, if Kisra died, there won't be Kisra after him. And until now, no Kisra had succeeded Kisra. And the Prophet ﷺ said, by the way, the companions, after they controlled, they defeated the Persians, they took the crown of Kisra and they were tearing it, applying what the Prophet said, may Allah tear his kingship. The Prophet ﷺ was revealed by Allah that there is none of the people of the book, but they'll be believing in Isa before his death. What Christians believe about Jesus nowadays? He died. But you say he's God. Yes, but he died for me and you. But you say he's God. Yeah, he died, but for me and you. But can you believe that God died? Only 3 days. If God dies for 3 seconds, he's not God. So, do Muslims believe that Jesus is going to die? Sure. Did he die? No, not yet. He will be descending. And people will be believing in him. All the people of the book will be believing him after he will be descending. And he has to die. In which he didn't yet. Among the prophecies of the Prophet ﷺ, at the night of the next day of Badr, at that night before Badr battle takes place or took place, the Prophet ﷺ was given the good news by Allah that Abu Jahl's death will be at this part exactly. Umayyah ibn Khalaf, Shayba and Utbah. The Prophet was pointing to their place where will they die. And he said, this is the place. And he was pointing out, this is the place where Abu Jahl is going to die. This is Shayba where he's going to die. Next day, when the battle took place, Anas radiallahu anhu, he said, none of the pointings of the Prophet towards those people had mistaken. They died exactly where the Prophet a night ago, he pointed out to their places of death. The Prophet ﷺ, when he was in Mecca, in the weakest circumstance of the Muslims, they said, shouldn't you be seeking victory for us? Don't you see, O Prophet, what's happening to us? We're persecuted. Please ask Allah something. The Prophet said, you are hastening the matter. Wallahi, Allah will be completing this matter until the youngster will be walking from Sana'a to Hadramaut fearing nothing except the wolf against her sheep. That's all. But you are hastening the matter. What are the people of Quraysh? Well, the Prophet is in a weak circumstance. As he passed by the Prophet ﷺ with his she-horse, you know, the she-horse, he said, "Do you see that she-horse? You know I'm well maintaining it, taking good care of it. You know why? Because I'm going to kill you while I'm riding it someday." The Prophet ﷺ said, "No, but I'll be the one to kill you, inshallah." In the Battle of Uhud, this man was seen like a lightning in the speedy she-horse that he has. Heading towards the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet asked one of the companions to give him a spear. And the Prophet was given the spear. And he hit it inside this man, and this man died immediately. And the Prophet was angry at that time, saying, the worst people on earth is a man who killed a prophet or got killed by a prophet. Allahu Akbar. Also, there was a big fight that took place in Tabuk. And that was a horrible fight. 3,000 Muslims. They had to confront 100, more than 100. There were a number of, thousands of army. They had to be confronting the Muslims, but they asked a support from the Roman emperor. And he supported them by 100,000 soldiers against the Prophet ﷺ. Although he received the message of the Prophet ﷺ to become Muslim, being invited to become a Muslim. And he said, I didn't know. I knew that there will be a prophet coming soon, but I did not know that he will be sent among you. If he's truthful, he will be occupying the very location of my feet here. And if I was able to reach him, I'll be washing his feet. And I'll be believing in him. But life had taken him, as life is taking many people from taking the initiative of converting to Islam. The Prophet said about this man, he was choked with life. Lively bonds and relations will be shackling the person from taking a truthful, a brave decision to follow the truth. So the Prophet ﷺ was told by Allah that brothers of yours, that your brother Ja'far, who was the leader of the army, he died. Then his brother took the banner. Then he died. 7 consequently, they have taken the banner and they died. The last one, whom the Prophet ﷺ described him to be the sword of Allah, he had taken the banner. And then he ordered to make a change in the army. Those who were in the back, next day. Those who were in the back to be put in the front. Those who used to be in the right to be put in the left. He made a change. And when he made a change, the Romans said, it seems that the Muslims have been given a great support. They were, empowered by a great support. So, let's get back. And they returned back. And Umar returned back the army. It's a tactic. And the Prophet was praising Khalid bin Walid for doing this. Even those 70 people, Hafiz of the Quran, when they got killed, they said, "Oh Allah, convey to our Prophet that we have met with you and we are pleased with you, and while you are pleased with us." And the Prophet ﷺ delivered the message that was conveyed to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he told them exactly what happened. He was asked about the issues of the signs of the last hour. He said, count 6 before the hour. Count 6 things. My death is number 1. Opening Baytul Maqdis, opening Jerusalem. That's the second. Istifadatul mal, the abundance of money. Until the man is given 100 dinar. Still angry. That's not enough. That's nothing. Fitna, a trial, a tragedy that will be filling every house among the Arabs. There is no house of any Arabic person in the peninsula, but it will be entering it, this fitna. Trial. Then a truce between you and the yellowing people. This is indicative to what? To the Roman people. It's to be, blonde, yellow. A truce will be between you and them, but they'll be betraying you, and they'll be coming to you suddenly under 70 what? Banners. Each banner consisting 12,000 soldiers. So they'll be cheating you. They'll be betraying you. Also, the Prophet ﷺ had to have a meeting with the Jews. And they conspired that when he comes, let him sit at that place which you prepared for him. And a man on top is waiting for him. And he's going to be throwing a stone, a big rock, over him. The Prophet ﷺ came to them while he's angry, because Jibreel came to him and told him that they're preparing a rock to kill you. Then he came to them. He said, didn't you conspire to kill me? They said, oh, Abu Qasim, that's impossible. We swear by Allah that we didn't. Never, ever. How did you get that? He said, Jibreel told me. What are you preparing up? And he exposed them. The Jewish woman who invited the Prophet, yes, والسلام, at that moment until he entered, he did not know what is she preparing for him. She was preparing a complete poisoned sheep. Complete. As he was about to eat, as he was about to enter it, and some traces of that bite entered the throat of the Prophet. Some, he did not eat the bite yet. Suddenly, he said, stop. No one should be eating. Stop eating. This sheep is telling me that it's poisoned. But 2 among his companions had already taken 1 bite, and they instantly died. And this woman, she knew that the most beloved place of the sheep to the Prophet ﷺ is the shoulder of the sheep. Then she prepared it to be at that place. He said to her, why did you attempt to kill me? She said, I wanted to kill you. He said, no, you won't be able. It is not possible for you. Allah would not be allowing you to do it. The Prophet did not allow his companions to kill her. She was left. A woman that was ordered by Hatib ibn Balta, a companion, a good companion, who was one of the soldiers in Badr. He sent a message to who? To Quraysh, through a woman, telling them that Muhammad is on his way to you. He wanted to do a favor, something that can be protecting his family there in Mecca. The Prophet ﷺ said to Ali ibn Abi Talib, go to Khakh location, place. It's like a place of service. If you reach there, you'll find a woman, so and so woman. Tell her to give you the message. Then Ali went to her and found her. He said, give me the message you have. She said, what message? I have nothing. He said, لَتُخْرِجِنَّ الْكِتَابِ أَوْ لَنَنْزِعَنَّ الثِّيَابِ. Either you bring out the message, which is in you, you're hiding it somewhere, or we have to take your clothes off until we find it. That shows how confident Ali was, radiallahu anhu, in the news of the Prophet that was given to him. When she heard from Ali that something about to happen, that he has to take her clothes off, then she took the message and gave it to him. Then the Prophet asked Hatib, what is that, Hatib? And that is beautiful. The Prophet did not say, kill him, kha'in, amil, treason, betrayer, kill him. No. The Prophet was wise and patient. He said, what is that, O Hatib? What did you do? He said, oh Prophet, don't rush me. Don't rush. But the Prophet did not rush. If he wanted to rush, he would have been killing him. He said, there is none among you, but they have supporters among their tribe there in Mecca. Will be supporting his family, except me. I have no tribe there to support me. I wanted to do that. And I knew that Allah is going to support you, whether I send the message or not. The Prophet left him and he did not punish him. And Ghazwa, the Ghazwa of Khandaq, that was the third significant battle. When Allah sent the wind against them, when they were surrounding Medina, and they had to leave, then the Prophet ﷺ said that word, الْيَوْمَ نَغْزُوهُمْ وَلَا يَغْزُونَ أَبَدًا. This time, we're going to go to them to fight them. They won't be able to come here anymore. And what the Prophet ﷺ said had taken place. We still have time? Are you okay? We'll continue. Anyway, if anyone is busy, may Allah bless him, let him go. I'm going to speak to my camera. A man who is fighting strongly, bravely, wallahi, to the extent that the companion said, MashaAllah, none of us had already done anything better than this man. He was fighting the enemy strongly, bravely. But suddenly the Prophet ﷺ pointed his finger on him and said, this man is one of the people of the fire. Companions were amazed. What? This man? He was fighting. Look at him. He's so brave, mashallah. The Prophet went away. So one of the companions said, I'm going to be his shadow, his shade. I'm not going to leave him. So when the man goes, he goes with him. When he stops with him. He wanted to see why the Prophet said that about him. The man got injured, and it was the injury was so tough on him, he could not bear the injury. He took the sword and decided to kill himself, and he killed himself. Why is this? Oh Allah, he was fighting bravely, strongly for you, oh Allah. But Allah knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at something you don't look at. Allah was knowing his intention. It was not for the sake of Allah. And you have to be careful, be sincere. If you don't do the job for the sake of Allah, Allah may trouble you and make your end worst. So the companion went to the Prophet ﷺ. He said, Ashhadu annaka la Rasulullah. I bear witness, you're the messenger of Allah. The Prophet said, what is it? What's wrong? He said, the man you pointed your finger on, saying that he's one of the people of the fire. The Prophet said, yes, what about him? He said, he killed himself. I said, Ashhadu anni la Rasulullah. Inna ar-rajula la ya'malu bi'amali ahli al-jannati fima yabdu lin-nas wa huwa min ahli an-nar. The man may be seen by people that he's one of the people of paradise while he is one of the people of hell. And another man may be seen as if he's one of the people of hell, but he becomes one of the people of paradise. Example, Abu Sufyan. He was the leader of most of the fights against Islam. Suddenly, Allah penetrated the light of guidance and iman in his heart, and he became Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ was standing over Uhud mountains called Uhud. not the cave of Uhud. And the mountain was shaking. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Uthbut Uhud, be firm, O Mount of Uhud. فَإِنَّمَا عَلَيْكَ نَبِيٌّ وَصِدِّيقٌ وَشَهِيدًا. For there are 4 persons who are over you, a prophet and Siddiq, that is Abu Bakr, and 2 martyrs. And there was the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr, and Umar, he died as Shaheed, martyr, and Uthman, he died as Shaheed. And what the Prophet said happened exactly. People love to hear about Uwais. I'm sure our Asian brothers, they love the name Uwais. It has something, you know what I mean. Uwais, radiallahu anhu, was foretold about the Prophet ﷺ to his companions that when you will be getting some army supports, people who will be coming to support your army in Medina, among them there will be a man called Uwais. He used to be suffering leprosy, but he got recovered. except one spot remaining in his body. One spot. He has a mother upon whom he is so righteous to. And there's an addition here. It shackled his mother, his righteousness to his mother shackled him from joining Medina to see the Prophet and meet him. And the Prophet died without seeing Uwais. Then the Prophet said, whoever will be meeting him among you, let him ask Uwais to ask Allah to forgive him. That hadith finished. The Prophet died. At the time of Umar, when he was the caliph, whenever people come as a support to Medina, Umar radiallahu anhu used to be asking, among you is Uwais? Anyone among you is Uwais? Until Uwais came. Among you is one who is called Uwais? He said, yes, it's me. You are Uwais? He said, yes. You were suffering leprosy? He said, yes. And you were covered? He said, yes. Except a spot in your body still? He said, yes, I have only a small spot remaining of my leprosy. He said, you have a mother which you are so righteous to? And she died? He said, yes. Umar said to him, ask Allah to forgive me. Allahu Akbar. He said, ask Allah to forgive me. He said, no, it is you who you should be asking Allah for me. Then Umar did not care about what he said to him. For the second time, ask Allah to forgive me. For the third time, ask Allah to forgive me. He said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to join army in Al-Kufa. He said, what do you want? Do you want silver? Do you want gold? He said, no, nothing. Just give me my supplement to reach there. After Umar left him, he was troubled. Everybody, wherever he goes, people ask him, always ask Allah for me. Ask Allah. He had to cover his face and hide himself until he reached to a Kufa. Subhanallah. So the Prophet ﷺ told about this, and that happened exactly. Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh radiallahu anhu. Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh, he used to be having a friend in Mecca. Friend, not brother. Friend. He used to be pagan. He's pagan. Umayyah ibn Khalaf. But Sa'ad used to be, even before Islam, he used to be, whenever he goes to Mecca, he will be hosted by Umayyah ibn Khalaf. And when Umayyah ibn Khalaf goes to Medina, he used to be hosted by Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh. So Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh went to Mecca, and he said to Umayyah, try to see the house of Allah if it's empty, so I can go and perform my Umrah. So he was looking for the appropriate time. That means the tawaf around Mecca used to be available even when the Prophet was fought by Quraysh. So he said to him, you can go now. He went and started to make the Umrah. Then Abu Jahl saw him. He said, Umayyah, who's that person? He said, that is Sa'ad bin Mu'adh, the leader of Medina. He said, the leader of Medina? Didn't I hear, O Sa'ad, that you're supporting that man who apostated our faith and he went and you're supporting him there? He said, Sa'ad spoke angrily and he was raising his voice against Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl said to him, Wallahi, had it not been that you are hosted by Umayyah, I would have never been allowing you to return Medina sound. I'll be killing you. Then Sa'ad said to Abu Jahl, Abu Jahl, he said to him, he said, I will be depriving you from reaching to Medina before you arrive there, because your way of commerce is through Medina. You have to pass by Medina, and you won't be able. Then Umayyah said to Sa'ad, Sa'ad, why do you have to raise your voice over the head of this valley of Mecca? Don't raise your voice. Sa'ad said to Umayyah, you back off, come on. I'll tell you what, I heard the Prophet ﷺ, you Umayyah, talking about you, that you'll be killed by the Muslim army. That had shaken Umayyah. He said, are they going to do that? He said, I heard the Prophet saying that about you, precisely. It affected him. He went back to his wife and he said, you know what Sa'ad say? He said, what? He said, Sa'ad told me that the Prophet told him that I'm going to be killed by the Muslim army. So that was before the battle of Badr. When the time of Badr came, Abu Jahl was provoking every person, Yalla, we have to fight Muhammad. Let's prepare. So he passed by Umayyah. Umayyah, aren't you going to join us? He said, I'm a bit tired. I can't make it. He said, Umayyah, if people see that you'll be lacking off, that will be discouraging them from joining the army. He said, so it has to be? Does it have to be? He said, yes. He said to his wife, prepare for me the best she-horse among let my supplement be the best. Give me the best horse. She prepared for him the best horse. When he went, he got killed by the Muslims in Badr. Umayyah ibn Khalaf. The Prophet said that he's going to be killed by the Muslims, and that took place. Subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ talked about Tabariyah lake, that at the day it's going to be dry. And now they're suffering its dryness. It used to be very abundantly filled with water. He said time by time it's going to decline until a day will come, it will be dry. He talked ﷺ about the splitting of the moon, and that took place. He talked ﷺ about the sun, the hour, when the hour come, among the signs of the final hour, that the sun will be rising from west. And science today is telling us that the rotation of the earth is slowing time by time, until a time will come, it will stop and the rotation will be reversing. So the sun will be rising from west, scientifically, by Sana, and I've seen that report. The Prophet ﷺ talked about opening Masr, Egypt. And he said, you're going to open Egypt, and you'll find people of Coptics and etc. Be kind to them, because there is a relationship of what? Kinship of what? Sihr. Father, what do you call it? Fatherhood-in-law. And the Prophet ﷺ, he married who? Maria. She was his concubine. Yeah. And he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that, yeah, أبى الله والمؤمنون أن يختلف عليك يا أبا بكر. Allah is rejecting, refusing that anyone will be disagreeing about your leadership, O Abu Bakr. And he talked about a period of the Khilafah, the Caliphate, after him will be 30 years. And it was counted exactly 30 years. And he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, I've seen in the dream that two pots, you know the pots, the containers of water, that I was standing at the well, and I have taken one pot of water, jar, do you call it jar or, right? Help me, help, yeah, container of water. I have taken one pot of the water from the well. Then Abu Bakr had taken that pot container, and he had taken one or two pots of water, and in his taking there's a sort of weakness, and may Allah forgive him. What is the weakness? The weakness is the shortness of the period of Abu Bakr's leadership, 2 years only. He said, then Umar had taken the pot from Abu Bakr, and he had taken 2 or 3 pots of water, and mashallah, his taking was the strongest ever, until people rejoiced his period. And they drank, and they were satisfied, fully satisfied. And the best caliphate was after the leadership of Abu Bakr was Umar ever, and until now, and until the day of judgment. And what the Prophet talked about had taken place exactly. And regarding, as for Uthman radiallahu anhu, he told Uthman that you are going to be oppressed, O Uthman. And the hypocrites will be forcing you to take off a shirt that Allah has given you. Don't take it off for them. What is the shirt? What is the shirt? The Khilafah, the leadership. The hypocrites, the Khawarij, surrounded Uthman, and they said, give up your leadership. He said, no. The Prophet told me, don't give it up. And he said, the hypocrites will be forcing you to give it up. I'm not going to give up. They said, then we'll be killing you. He said, I'm staying where I am. And he told the Muslim army, who was the strongest army at that time? Never intercept those people, leave them. 25 extremists, they surrounded his house. As he went out to the balcony to look at them, they started to hit him with the arrows to kill him. He said, why you're launching these arrows against me? They said, we did not launch you when we launched you, but it was Allah who launched you. He said, you liars. If Allah is the one that launches me, He will not be mistaking me. Look, you're launching me, but you're mistaking me. Wise, great man. So they entered. The Prophet ﷺ said, they will be killing you. In other narration, that you'll be fasting and you'll be joining with us. I don't know if this is authentic. Astaghfirullah, I hope I'm not wrong. But he said to him, you will be oppressed and you'll be dying as shaheed. And the Prophet ﷺ, he was sitting on the well. and Abu Bakr sought permission. Can I enter? He was allowed. The Prophet said to Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, allow him to enter and give him the good news of Jannah. He entered and he sat down next to the Prophet ﷺ. Then Umar entered. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari said, wait until I seek permission for you to enter. The Prophet said, allow him to enter and give him the good news of Jannah. Then Uthman entered. Umar sat down next to the Prophet also. Then Uthman sought permission. Then the Prophet said, allow him to enter and give him the good news of entering Jannah for a trial that he will be confronting. Then Abu Musa told him, the Prophet allowed you and he gives you good news to enter Jannah by a calamity that will be taking place with you. Then Uthman said, Allahul Musta'an. Allah is the one to be sought. And he sat down in front of the Prophet ﷺ, not beside him. And the way Abu Bakr sat down and the way Umar sat down, Allah destined that to be the exact position of their death. The Prophet and Abu Bakr and Umar. And that's why I think Mujahid said, when he narrated this hadith, he said, I think that this is the fulfillment of their death together. They will be gathered together. Abu Bakr and Umar and the Prophet ﷺ together. Uthman was not with them. He was not buried with them. Some people are really sad and angry for Abu Bakr and Umar being buried beside the Prophet. We say to them, die in your anger. Die in your anger. That's what Allah destined. You will not be able to change it. Ammar ibn Yasir radiallahu anhu, the Prophet ﷺ said, what is the matter with Ammar ibn Yasir? He will be killed by the wrongdoing part, the mistaking part of my nation. Now, one may be asking, why the Prophet had to tell about this? What is the benefit? The benefit, many of those who were fighting Ali radiallahu anhu with this party, group of the Muslims, when they realized that Ammar ibn Yasir was killed with the group of Ali, they gave up their part and they joined the part of Ali radiallahu anhu. That is the benefit. And the Prophet ﷺ talked about those Khawarij who killed Uthman. They are extremists. The Prophet ﷺ said, if one of you will be comparing himself to those people, he will be belittling his worship. MashaAllah, they have a great deal heavy worship. But they're ignorance. If I will be reaching their time, I'll be killing them, the Prophet said. I'll be killing them. The one of you, O companions, when he sees their prayer, he'll be belittling his prayer. Their fasting, he'll be belittling his fasting. But they won't be reaching the target of Islam except little. So Ali radiallahu anhu, in his period of leadership, he was fighting the Khawarij. In one of the fights, he killed one person who was the leader of the Khawarij at that time. His name was Thuthudi. Thuthudi. What is Thudi? Breast. There's something growing here under his armpit. It looks like a breast. A piece of flesh. Ali radiallahu anhu, when he defeated the Khawarij, he said to his army, to his soldiers, try to look for a man called the Thudi. They looked. They said, we didn't find. He said, no. Sadaqa Rasulullah. The Prophet will never be telling a lie. Go check. They checked and they found that person who has an extra piece, a member, which is as if it looks like a small breast of a woman under his armpit. They found him. And the Prophet foretold about this man that you're going to be fighting the Khawarij and one of them will be this man, the Thudi. And exactly it had been fulfilled as the Prophet ﷺ said. He said from Ta'if, You know, Ta'if, there's a distance of 90 kilometers between Ta'if and Mecca. He said, two persons will be emerged from Ta'if. One is a mass killer and one is a liar. Who's the liar? Al-Mukhtar ibn Ubaidillah al-Thaqafi. He pretended or claimed prophethood. And the mass killer was Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi. He was not the whole leader, the main leader of the Amawites, but Amawi's. But he was, how do you call him? Like a mayor in Mecca. And he was a mass killer. And he wasn't respectful to the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So exactly as the Prophet described, that from Ta'if there will be two persons who will be evil persons. One of them is Al-Hajjaj, and the other one is the prophethood claimer. That is Al-Mukhtar ibn Ubaidillah al-Thaqafi. The Prophet foretold about his grandson, Al-Hasan. He said, this grandson of mine, he is a master. He's a master, Sayyid. Why? He said, Allah may be reconciling through his efforts two conflicting groups of my nation. And that what happened. And Al-Hasan was the legal leader for 6 months after the death of his father Ali radiallahu anhu. And there was a fight between Ali and Muawiyah. Then Al-Hasan came with his 40,000 soldiers army. To who? To Muawiyah. Muawiyah was afraid. He said, what kind of army is this? Who can fight that army? Then Al-Hasan radiallahu anhu, he had some conditions and he declared the reconciliation between him and Muawiyah, and he gave up his leadership to Muawiyah. Shia, they say that the sons of the Prophet ﷺ are sinless, but they have a problem with Al-Hasan. They called him Mudhillul Mu'mineen, the humiliator of the believers. Why? He gave the leadership to Muawiyah. They said, Ya lal-ar, Ya lal-ar, what a shame, what a shame, Ya lal-ar. He refuted them. They are among his soldiers, but they're upset with him. They said, Ya lal-ar, what a shame. He said, Al-ar wal-nar. He said, shame is better than fire. Shame is better than fire. So, what the Prophet foretold about Al-Hasan, that Allah will be reconciling between the two conflicting groups of his ummah, and that had taken place. That had taken place. Yeah. I found the hadith. He said, O Uthman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be shirting you. I'm using the term, you understand what it means. Yani, clothing you, a shirt, in which the hypocrites will be taking it off from you. Don't take it off for them. And that shirt, what he meant by the shirt, is the leadership. What do we have? Does the Prophet have anything about AIDS, HIV? Yeah, he does. The Prophet ﷺ said, there is no nation upon which it will be declaring corruption, sexual behavior, to the extent that it will be done on the street, massive allowance for sexual behavior, but they will be tried with new diseases that their ancestors did not know at all about before. It wasn't known. New diseases. Their ancestors did not know about it. And that's what happens. Yes, the Prophet ﷺ was saying, when he was with Abu Bakr and Umar, this is how we are, and this is how we will die. And this is how they died. When Umar radiallahu anhu died, Ali radiallahu anhu was looking at him. He said, may Allah grant you mercy, O Umar. there is no one on the face of the earth that I wish to be meeting Allah with similar of his good deeds like your good deeds, O Umar. I was in a debate with the Shia, and they said Ali hates Umar. And Umar was beating up the wife of Ali. Yeah, and he broke her arm, and he broke the door of the house of Umar, and he forced Ali to let him marry with Kulthum, the daughter of Ali. He did a lot of bad things, Umar. I said, yeah. But Ali was saying, that's in Sahih Muslim, I wish to meet Allah with your good deeds, O Umar. It means that Ali was saying, oh Allah, I wish to meet you with the bad deeds of Umar, who killed my son and hit my wife. Is these the deeds? Is that the deeds that Ali is talking about? I wish to meet Allah with your deeds. If the deeds of Umar were bad, how can Ali wish to meet Allah with the deeds of Umar if his deeds were bad? No answer given. Allahu Akbar. He said to his wife, to his daughter Fatima, that you will be the first one among my children to follow me after my death. That means your death will be the first among my children after me. And after his death with 6 months, Fatima radiallahu anha died. And he said to his wives, the one among you who has the longest hand will be the closest one to follow me after my death. The wives of the Prophet ﷺ, they started to measure their hands. Your hand is shorter. No, my hand is longer. Until Zainab died. Then they understood what the Prophet meant. He meant by the long hand in donation, and she was the most generous person giving donation among his wives. And when she died, they understood what it means. Not the long hand, literally, but he meant by that the long hand in giving and donating. Radiallahu anha wa ardaha. He told his wife, Maymuna, that she would not be dying in Mecca. Yeah, it's narrated that Maymuna, she said, take me from Mecca. Take me from Mecca. I don't want to die in it. Then the Prophet ﷺ, she said that the Prophet ﷺ told me that I will not be dying in Mecca. Then they took her. They were lifting her until she reached to a place of a tree, just next to Mecca. Next to Mecca. As they reached to that tree, she died there. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet ﷺ said that his grandson Al-Hussein will be dying as shaheed. And he'll be badly treated. And Jibreel brought him a red kind of dust sand. He said, this is the sand where your grandson Al-Hussein is going to be dying. He said, ﷺ, that among the signs of the final hour, that the time will be narrowing. The time will be narrowing. Yes, the time is narrowing now. We're becoming a small village, my dear. To go to Australia today, it takes something like 16 hours. But before, maybe 16 years. Who can reach to the continent of Australia at the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ? Now it's easy. And now they have new airplanes. They're going to to reduce the time from 16 hours to maybe 6 or 5 hours maximum to Australia. The Prophet ﷺ foretold about a fire that will be taking place in Adan, from the depth of Adan. You know what is the worst volcano in the world? Where? What do you expect it? Some will say in Indonesia. They have the worst kind of volcanoes. Scholars, scientists today, they say that Adan is the head of the greatest and worst volcano, which is expected to be, what? Erupting at any moment. It's the worst, which it did not erupt until now. But it has to erupt because it's boiling. The English people, they went to Aden before, and they called that place the crater. Crater means the cap of the volcano, the cap. Yani once Aden, someday it will be open just like a cap and the volcano will be erupting. The British people. Even the Haram radiallahu anha. Haram, where the Prophet ﷺ slept at her house. And he woke up and he was laughing. He was smiling. She said, "Oh Rasulullah, why you're smiling? You're laughing." He said, "A group, an army of my nation, they were explored to me. غُزَاةً فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, fighters for the sake of Allah. They will be riding the sea. They'll be cruising the sea. Mujahideen fi sabilillah. As kings, they look like kings on their beds and couches." Haram said, "Oh Rasulullah, ask Allah that I'll be among them." He said, "You'll be at the beginning of them. At the beginning of them." Then he slept again. Then he mentioned the same dream he saw. Then again she asked him. Then again he said to her, "Anti min al-awwalin." You will be among the first who will be dying there. Haram went to what do you call it? In Roma. As she reached from the sea, stepping on the land, she was kicked by her animal, and she died. She died there, as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned to her. The last thing is the Prophet ﷺ foretold about the reaching of Islam to every house, east, west, south, north. There is no house in the whole earth but Islam will be entering. By the humiliation of those who don't like it, and by the pride of those who like it. And if you don't like it, you'll be humiliated. That will not be benefiting you. Islam is going to reach. Try your best. Tell me you have ballistic missiles, you have the best weapon on earth. Wallahi, that will not be decreasing or shaking our confidence of what the Prophet ﷺ said, because he had prophesied thousands upon thousands of things that had taken place, and this is going to take place as well. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين وبارك الله فيكم.